Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to our morning update for Tuesday, March the 7th of 2017. This is George Papazov from Trade Pro Academy. I want to welcome you guys to the second installment of our morning updates. I hope you're enjoying them. We've got some good feedback. I urge and welcome all comments. Would love to have an open discussion. If you have questions, comments, concerns, emotional breakdowns, I'm not a licensed psychiatrist. Leave the comments below. Today's morning update is big. Let me turn on the squawk for a second. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. Here's today's markets. I'm just going to look at the overview. In Asia, Japan's down 0.2%. Hong Kong up 0.5%. China and India flat on the session. In Europe, at midday in London's exchange, 0.1% up. Paris down 0.3%. Frankfurt up 0.1% as well. Futures at the 7 a.m. mark, Dow was down 0.1%. S&P down 0.2%. NASDAQ down 0.1%. Crude up 0.5% on some bullish news that OPEC and non-OPEC producers are starting to come to some agreement that an extension needs to be put in place for their production cut. So that's been a bullish or positive sign. It's helped kick the price of crude higher. Gold down slightly, trading at $1223.90, down 0.1%. Gold was a phenomenal short opportunity around the $1263 range based on seasonality. We've been really chomping at the bit on the seasonal trends that have been taking place, and I think that's going to continue. We have some downside left. We're waiting for a bit of a pop here to short into gold, and that's going to be a great opportunity. This light is really bright. I think you guys are going to see me start to get a tan as we do these a little bit more often. All right, here's the big news. Republicans released a new health care bill. The previous Obamacare that they're going to repeal and replace, all right, what they're calling it, remember, Obamacare stands for Affordable Health Care Act, or AHA. So the Republicans come in, and they're going to pass this new revolutionary bill, and it's called AHCA, Affordable Health Care Act. I kid you not. So the title is not changing, but here's a few key parts. It's a 123-page bill. I could send you the link. I could include it below in the description if you guys want to click it and read it. I'm telling you, it's not a fun read. 123 pages. Here's the key conditions that this bill includes. Remember, it's just a bill at this point. It hasn't been passed. It's got a long and steep road to go before being approved to become official legislation. All right. Here's the key points. It allows people with pre-existing conditions to access coverage, but it penalizes that lapse in coverage. So if you have a pre-existing condition, you will get coverage through the AHCA or the Trump care, I guess. And there's just going to be a penalty for any lapses. All right. It moves to block tax credits for individuals. So the credit structure that you would receive when it comes down to tax time is adjusting. It's dependent on income and age, and there's a bracket for it. I think one is about 60K. The other one is 150. If I recall correctly. But again, I'll post the details to the full bill if you're curious to see. All right. They're also changing the limit that insurers could charge older customers compared to younger customers. So in the previous Obamacare structure, they could charge the older clients, or the more seasoned, the more knowledgeable clients, I like to call them, wisdom, the more wise. With age comes wisdom. They used to be able to charge them 3 times more than the younger clients. Now that's going up to 5 times more. So it's going to increase their premiums. Okay, it's going to kick lottery winners off Medicaid. So if you win the lottery, you're no longer going to be subsidized. And it's going to provide grants to establish high-risk pools and encourage enrollment. So individuals who are deemed to be at high risk are going to have a chance to get coverage. And the program is going to provide grants and money to fund those sort of initiatives. All right, that's the key bill that came into pretty much, it was signed last night. And here's something interesting. So watch the healthcare sector today, because we think those are going to be the stocks in play. The big movers in the pharma industry and healthcare are going to be the ones that take advantage of this. We're going to see some volatility and some trading opportunities. Watch healthcare very closely today as analysts, the media, investors, and traders on Wall Street try to digest what this means for the stock market and what it means for the future. There's going to be a lot of recommendation changes, a lot of biases, a lot of forecasts, and that's going to generate volatility and trading opportunities for us. I'll give you 2 symbols to watch for. XBI, it's an ETF. It's the biotech sector that often leads a lot of the moves that happen in the S&P 500. So you see on a 15-minute chart, XBI exploding higher. Try to see what the S&P 500 is geared for, because it might go on for the ride as well. Another ETF that you should watch is the S&P Pharmaceuticals ETF. XPH, it's from iShares, and IHG, which is from Dow. It's a pharma company ETF. So those are the 3 symbols you want to look at, and look at the key big companies in the pharma sector. They're going to be impacted big time today. All right, here's a tweet at 8:47 as I was preparing this update. Donald Trump tweets and says the following: I am working on a new system where there will be competition in the drug industry. Pricing for American people will come way down. It's going to be huge. It'll be terrific. You didn't say that. I did. That's my addition there. 8:47 a.m. Watch for that. That's going to stir some volatility in the biotech sector. That's one big thing that happened last night that was very important. The second thing I want to discuss in today's morning update is the Trump's travel ban. I remember he imposed a ban on immigration, and it was on 6 countries. It was 7 rather. Now it's 6. They dropped Iraq. So there's no more travel restrictions for Iraq. But this bill has been signed. So listen to this. It was released pretty quietly. All right. This is the change from the previous one. It comes with a 10-day delay. So it won't be reinforced until 10 days, which will be the 16th of March. The reason being is Trump doesn't want the chaos and craziness to happen at the borders that previously did. Will it stop it? I don't know. But that's the plan. All right. He also didn't. He signed it in private. He signed the bill in private. I just want to see what notes I made. He made text available immediately after. He briefed reporters, and he didn't tweet anything about it, which that's probably one of the most presidential stints that he's had. No tweets from the media, gave some complete details of what he imposed, and that was massive. So that happened last night. Yesterday, actually, it was signed in. All right, so watch for that. Curious to see how the market interprets and reacts to it. Curious to see if the chaos starts again. And what impact that will have. So some volatility coming in from the Trump administration for sure. All right, travel ban. Let me read some details for you. It's delayed until March 16th. All right, there's a draft bill, and it will restrict entry to the United States from 6 predominantly Muslim background countries. The first bill failed in court. It was challenged on a constitutional basis, the legality of it. Trump didn't fight back. Instead, he released a new bill. All right, that's what you're looking at. So remember, new Health Care Act for the Obama repeal and replace has come in. It's a bill. There's going to be a lot of discussion. Travel ban, how will that impact the markets and the sentiment in equities and overall? All right, those are the 2 updates I wanted to share with you. We got a little bit more. Let's have a look. Hopefully you guys are geared up and ready for today's trading session. Yesterday, we expected some weakness, and it came. I don't know how today is going to play out. I'm honestly looking for the open bell to see if there's some support or some bids starting to come in. On the open, the first 15 minutes, we usually sit on the side and watch price action, and it's very indicative of what you can expect for the rest of the day. I really believe in this market that no matter what you think, I often get asked, how do you find out where the market's going, or how do you know what people are thinking, or do you take into account what analysts are saying? And I always say the only thing I take into account is what happens on the chart. If you have an opinion, if you've got money that you're going to put behind that opinion, I'm going to see you on my chart. I'm going to see you go through the order flow. I'm going to see you on the ladder. You're going to be trading on my dime. You're going to be going through at the bid or the offer. I get to see that info. At the end of the day, that's the only info that I care about. If somebody has an opinion, but there isn't money invested in it, what do I care about that? It's not going to influence the market. So always watch the chart. Price action is king in this business. Here's another 2 pieces of data. Euro area growth, GDP in the Euro area rose almost 0.5%, 0.4 in the 4th quarter. That was released at 5 a.m. And German industrial orders crashed at their worst since 2009 on a monthly basis. So watch the DAX. All right, that's a very important indication. Keep an eye out on the DAX today. Throughout the trading day, I want you to watch 2 things. One is the XBI indicator, which is the biotechs. It's going to be a leader. And then watch DAX out of Europe. That's also going to be a leader, especially from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. where the U.S. and Euro sessions overlap. All right, that's a key piece of data. And talked about the major fall in demand in Germany, onward and upward. And we're going to wrap it up with this. Snapchat. Remember we talked about Snapchat? I got some very colorful comments in the previous video. Here's some cool things you need to know. And as cool as it is, this will last more than 24 hours, so it's on the record. The stock is down over 13% yesterday. I remember there was an article that surfaced that said the key investor, the demographic that are purchasing Snap shares is the average about 26-year-old, which is non-coincidentally the average user base of Snapchat to begin with. I read a lot of stuff on there. A lot of tweets came out of people saying, I'm buying Snapchat because it's cool. Thank goodness. But the question I have to ask is, when did cool become equivalent to being a big and good business model, a sustainable and viable product? That's what we need to ask. If because it's cool is the best reason that you have to buy something, I strongly recommend you do not invest in it. It's one thing to use Snapchat to update your feed, to have fun with it. It's a whole other thing to put your hard-earned money at work on something that's cool. So when that came out, I said, oh boy, this isn't going to end well. It crashed yesterday. Stock went down 13%. So watch that. Keep it on your watch list as well today. It had 7 analyst ratings, 5 sells, 2 hold, and 0, the goose egg, zip. Nothing, not a zilch buy recommendations from analysts. So stock crashed. Here's my advice to you. If you've been looking or eyeing Snapchat and you want to give it a go, don't let me discourage you. I always tell everyone in Trade Pro Academy, all of our subscribers, don't let me be the reason you get in and out of trades. It's not my money. It's yours. You're accountable to your own account. However, wait for the right time, right? There's never a perfect time. If you had a checklist to say this is an amazing trade, the more amazing that a trade looks, the less likely it is to work in today's market. If you find a trade that looks absolutely fantastic, all your criteria is getting hit, I would actually recommend you stay away from that trade because it's too easy. If you're seeing it and everything's lining up and it just looks too amazing, everyone else is piling in, and when everyone else is piled in on that trade, guess what? All they are is stop losses to the opposite side. If everyone bought, now there's sellers waiting to happen with a little bit of downside pressure. Back to Snapchat. The reason I say that, if you're looking to buy Snapchat, buying it at the IPO on the first day is the worst day to do it. There's a lot of drive, a lot of emotion that forces people to chase the price as it goes up. I missed it. I'm going to get it. I missed it. I'm going to get it. And then at the end, they look back and they say, oh, crud, did I end up buying the high? And trust me, a lot of people feel that way this morning. If you want to give Snapchat a go, wait for the price to drop. Wait for everyone that got in to just get squeezed out of that position and get fleeced. Wait for the media to start really hating the company and wait for it to sound like the worst investment opportunity in the world. And then you go in and give it a shot. All right, that's when you go in and buy it because retail is out of the trade at that point. You always want to go against retail, especially with an IPO. All right, enough on Snapchat. I don't want to really get into that much detail. So let's just do a quick recap. Markets are flat to slightly lower today. Watch out for the 3 things we talked about. Number 1 is the Trump travel ban. Number 2 is the Healthcare Act. And number 3 actually relates to the Healthcare Act. Watch those stocks. Watch DAX as a leader. Watch XPI as a leader as well throughout the remainder of the session. What else I had to cover with you? Do you guys have any questions or comments? Of course, I can't see them. This is where Google Glass will be really handy and creepy, but handy as well. That's what we're looking for in today's session. Watch Bitcoin and gold as well. I think Bitcoin's still valued at a higher price than gold. That's interesting correlation that we need to track with as well. That's how the morning starting out. Big news coming up this week. On Thursday at 8:30 in the morning, the European Central Bank, or the ECB, headed by Mario Draghi, there's going to be a lot of discussion on their interest rate and monetary policy. That's going to be a massive mover for the currency markets. We're going to follow that. And then on Friday, we have the non-farm employment report, or non-farm payrolls, NFP. That's a massive report. The last piece of labor data before the Federal Reserve makes a decision as to whether or not they hike rates next week. All right, it's coming up. It's coming next week on Wednesday. Other than that, for today's economic calendar, there's not much. We got Canadian January International Merchandise Trade at 8:30. That's already done with. After the open, we have some Canadian data, the Feb IV Purchasing Manager Index for the day. 11:30, we got a 4-week bill auction. And then at 1 p.m., we got a 3-year note auction for the United States. So they're both Treasury auctions. We got consumer credit at 3 p.m. Eastern. And today, if you're an oil trader, you got to watch out for the API, crude oil inventory at 4:30. That data comes out about 4:25 for private subscribers and then gets released to the public at 4:30. So if you notice the oil market move a lot after the close, that's why. It's inventory data. If you notice it move about 5 minutes before the actual release, it's because it gets released in private as well. It's a private release. The way we trade that, we let the news get factored in and we take the fallout trade. We don't try to speculate where we think it's going to go. That being said, oil's at a massive inventory stockpile. So watch for that number. Let's see any last minute notes that I want to make to you guys and ladies. We got some earnings, not really important. Just looking through here. Some conferences that are taking place today. Deutsche Bank has a conference. That's an interesting release. Deutsche Bank Media and Telecom Conference in Palm Beach, Florida. That's taking place today. You might hear some comments from that. Other than that, analysts and investors, EIA at 12 p.m. Eastern today. EIA has a short-term energy outlook. So that's actually pretty important. Watch for that. That might cause some volatility around the energy markets. Okay? Have yourselves a wonderful day. Good luck, good trading, and let's make some money. I suspect the open's going to be exciting. You're going to see a lot of volume go through, and we got to decide which way it's going to go. Remember, I'm not bullish. I'm not bearish. I'm price action oriented. I could go either way and make money. I ditch the bias, and I follow the order flow, and I follow the trades. If you guys want to come out and trade with us for a week, come out, sign up. You get access to the free trading room. You get access to all of our education. I start with what is a futures contract, and I take you through to the end to give you proprietary trader level training. This is professional stuff. You're going to learn stuff in there that you didn't know existed, and this is becoming my tagline. You're going to learn stuff that you didn't know existed because it actually works. Trading in 2017 is a lot different than it used to be, and we're teaching you tools and methods of the new century. Head and shoulders, stick with the shampoo. The pattern doesn't work as much these days. A lot of what we've learned and what we're taught as traders is knowledge that worked in the 90s. Today's market, it's totally different. It's driven by different aspects, it's got different behaviors, and I want to teach you all that stuff. So come out and join us, tradeproacademy.com/free trial. Have a look at our packages. We got some big changes coming, and I want to put you on the list. Go to tradeproacademy.com/launch. March 21st, we're announcing huge changes. They're going to be big. Take care, guys. Have a great day. Good luck trading. Be safe out there. And remember, your number one goal, manage risk. All right, that's your first goal. And then your second goal is to make money. If you manage risk effectively, you're always going to make money in the long haul. Take care. Have a wonderful day, guys. All the best. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. for another morning market update. Cheers and goodbye.